Yo, my name is Abraham Villarreal. I play guitar, bass, and drums, and occasionally vocals. And right now, I currently play bass in Chi and Blushed and Maldito Dios. I currently play drums as well in Gorilla Mintz and Smoke. And guitar, I play in something that's cooking up. I guess the first artist or band to really inspire me, I guess that'll be Michael Jackson. Like, I don't know what it was. It's because when I was a kid, I had all the DVDs and I would watch them. And like, not some corny shit because I know Michael Jackson, the movie just came out. But those movies, like, I used to watch them a lot. And I thought they were so fire. And as a kid, I would just rewatch them and be like, damn, that dude just looks so damn cool. Like, he just looks so insane. I loved how he would just switch outfits. I loved his whole stage moves. I loved his presence. I loved how he was just always on beat. That boy was always on beat. And I don't know, I just loved watching all his movies. Like, that's, I think, definitely one of the main ones. And I guess when it comes to bands as an inspiration, well, funny thing enough, I never really liked like metal music or anything like that, heavy stuff at all when I was a kid. I thought it was weird because I saw my cousin's wallpaper and she had like a photo of Marilyn Manson with like the Christmas hat and he was just all skinny as shit. And I thought it was so gross. And like that just turned me off and I thought it was for weirdos for the longest time. And then my dad showed me Metallica and, well, I heard Guns N' Roses from my cousin when I remember he showed me because we were going to Playa del Carmen. I think that's what it was, or Cancun, someplace. And we're at the airport. He's like, "Yo, listen to this." And he had this thing at the time. It was called the Zune. I don't know if like people remember that, but it's called the Zune. It was cool, and it just had music and shit. So he plugged them in, and I was listening to like the beginning part with the delay, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's kind of cool." And then you hear all the drums come in, you hear the bass part, and like in one of like the bridges towards the end, where it's just like the and then like that part I thought was really sick, because it's just the drums and bass, and like really hearing all that together, I thought was so sick. And like that's as a kid where I was like, oh, okay, that's like the main musical inspiration. But I guess to really play in a band, because I didn't really start going to shows until I was like really 14. And this kind of comes implies with the question later. But there was this guy, his name's Alex, and there was this band called Los Mamones. And they were really fucking cool. They were like an indie surf rock band. And I remember I saw them like in 2019. But they were really sick. And, well, sadly, Alex, he did take his life not too long ago. So, RIP him. But, yeah, he was definitely one of the main inspirations. I'm like, all right, when I play music, I gotta like really be in it, really like feel it, get in the whole groove of it. I mean, of course, I play with a metronome sometimes, like for practice, but in that case, because it's really like you gotta get in it, you know, like. And really just seeing him was one of the coolest things ever, and what got me into feeling like, all right, I think I can kind of do this, because I played like, I was like, what, 14? So when I saw him, I was like, oh shit, I think I could probably do it. This doesn't look that bad, because he was just some stoner dude with like a little drug rug jacket and like gauges, and I thought, oh damn, this guy looks pretty sick. And yeah, he really set it off from there. And I mean, those are probably the main people that got me like inspired to like make music. So EP hardcore, just because I don't know if this counts as like an El Paso hardcore show exactly, but I remember I think I saw Barbarian or Convict. I don't know. I saw one of you guys, but I saw y'all play at Rock House, and I think it was opening for. Oh, God. I don't know if it was like Card Effects or The Last 10 Seconds Live. It was some show at Rock House, but I remember I saw you guys, and then I was with. I'm gonna just call it Mr. Put You On. So I went with him to the show, and I remember he was like, you know, singing the lyrics back, and I was like, what the fuck? I don't even know, like, I don't even know these guys. And he's like, oh, they're from El Paso. And I was like, oh shit, they're from here. So I was like, okay. And then so later on, I think it was around 22, because I mean I've been playing in like the music scene since like 21, or if you want to put it like that. Yeah, 21. So Um, Playing during then, I never really heard too much of the actual hardcore scene. I was kind of more like in a punk alternative, like I'm not even gonna call it that. It was like a party scene back then, and like that time from like 20, like right after COVID 21 to like early 22. It was like very much a party scene, but still like an indie scene around. So that mixed together was not. No, it was not good. It was not good. Um, the shows were kind of cool sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Like one of the stupidest shows that I've ever played here. Like, dude, there was like 1,200, like 1,200 kids, like all packed up to the front. Like I saw people from school that I went to. I saw people I went to the skate park with. Like, yeah, everybody was there, dude. It was crazy. Yeah, it was actually fucking insane. Gross ass night, disgusting ass night. But God, it was pretty cool just to like see that and like witness that. But like later on the line, I remember going to that Rock House show and finding you guys, and I was like, oh shit, you guys are actually pretty good. And listening to the recordings on Spotify, and I was like, damn, these guys are actually good. So I was like, oh fuck, these guys are pretty fired. So from there, I didn't really know too much about the shows. I remember I heard about some bands because in high school there was this guy I knew and his cousin played in Linger, or his cousins played in Linger. So I was like, oh shit. So I knew about them, but I didn't know anything about like the hardcore scene, like at all. So in 22, I remember we go to this show, and I think it was like some of the early No Push Mosh shows because Gel already played, Momentum already played, and I was like, fuck, because I was always out of town. So I was like, damn it, I can like, I gotta miss all the dope shit. So the one show I was here, I think I saw Combust, and we saw these two bands, the openers. I don't remember who were the openers, honestly. I think there's one band called Dumb Youth. I think that's all I remember, but I don't know exactly who else was on that bill, but it was just Dumb Youth. But shout out Raymond, he's cool. And from there, who the fuck was it? Because I think it was just Combust. I remember seeing Combust, and then like seeing everybody moshing, and there's this little dude. His name was Kevin. I think his name was Kevin. And he's like this like known mosher. I don't know if he's liked or whatever, but he moshes insane. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of my mosh style comes from that guy and this other guy, Fubu Man. He's pretty fire. So like those two dudes, because they mosh like they want to kill you, but like I don't know. I have a shitty back, so I can't really mosh like that anymore. But they're really cool. Like they're honestly really sick. And then yeah, I think that was pretty much the first like El Paso hardcore show that I saw. I was like, oh fuck, like this is pretty cool. Yes and no. So yeah, I have felt like I have been in too many bands at a point where I was like, dude, what the hell am I doing? Like I'm like stretching myself so thin, like I'm putting all of my eggs in like who knows how many damn baskets, and I'm like, shit, I need to take a break. But then it was crazy, and this is where the cool part is, where I'm like, okay, this is fire, because when I was younger, like in high school when I first started playing guitar, I was like, you know what, that would be cool. What if we make a band where we make every single genre? Like, I don't know, it sounded stupid, but then like I remember growing older, I was like, yo guys, let's make something like this, or let's try something like this, to like some of the other bands that I was in, and they would be like, nah, we're not that type of band, we're only like this. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you, like I'm gonna do it with some other people that want to. So yeah, that's what I did. So majority of the bands that I did was because I was just bored, and if nobody wanted to do something, I'll go do something with them. It did bite me in the ass a little, but at the same time I didn't care because I was having fun. So it was fire. But yeah, it was pretty much cool the whole time. Even still now, like I try to still put my love into what I can, because even then, like I'm an artist. I'm gonna do what I can to push whatever that I can, even if it's drawing or painting or hell, whatever the hell else I try to do creatively. But no, I mean, I pretty much enjoy it. I like the fact that I can like expose myself to so many genres, because I've always grew up listening to everything, and I've liked everything. Like I can fuck with everything. Like some people will be like, oh, I listen to everything, but nah, like I like everything. Like I listen to everything. But yeah, I mean, it's been pretty much fun. I have no complaints, other than it's just really cool that I have like other homies that are open and actually want to make stuff like that, because sometimes other people will be very close-minded, and what I like is open-mindedness. Because at one point I was very close-minded about a lot of things, but over time you kind of like start losing that, depending on who you are. But it was easier for me because I was like, easier to let go and telling myself like, all right, gotta let other people write, because I really like it when other people write, and when we both add ideas together, because it's cool when one person can make something, because don't get me wrong, kudos to you, you're goated, but it's like you get more of the feel, more of like everything that you kind of like, kind of want to feel in a song when everybody creates, because it's putting everything out of everybody into a song, and like that's what I like with like everybody. So even working with all these people, and then it's cool that I have a lot of bands with different people, and it's really cool to have a lot of bands with a lot of homies, because the chemistry is really good, but also working with other people, you never know what you could get. Some people think it's like pretty difficult. Honestly, it's not. It's really not. If you just put your head into like the whole, let me just lock in, I have a lot of calendars and I have a shit ton of notebooks. So I'm always writing everything down. Like, I always make sure whenever we have shows, I always ask everybody. Like, I'm always sometimes on top of everybody, where it's like, all right, what's the list of shows for this? What do we have to do for this? What's the next around for like merch or shit like that. So I always tend to have everything written down, even when it comes to like money or logistics, whatever you want to call it. But I try to pretty much stay on top of that. And then when it comes to, I guess, practice, it just really depends on schedules. Me, I have the blessed ass schedule. I'm used to waking up early, so I go to work like super early, and then I'm out by like 1 or 2. So then I have the rest of the day to do whatever the fuck I want. So I'm either, enjoying the first hour to myself, 2 hours, doing whatever I need to do, as gym, eat, shower, whatever. And then the other couple hours for the rest of the day is just, all right, guys, let's get together, jam, practice, cook, whatever the hell we're going to do. And we're like, all right, cool. By like 8, 9, I go home, asleep. Sometimes I'll extend a little bit later, because some guys get out of work like at fucking 10. And don't get me wrong, it's not bad. And like sometimes throughout the day, I'll prepare myself. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna take a nap for here. Sometimes I forget, and then I regret it in the morning. And then like it just really takes a lot of like discipline to really take yourself to be like, all right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, because no one's perfect. Everyone's prone to procrastinate, or everyone's prone to do some other shit. So I get it, but it's really just putting yourself to be like, all right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And just get it done throughout the day. And then really conflicts, it just kind of depends on the person. And it depends on like the day, because some people will have good days, some people have bad days, and other people could be like, all right, it'll just be us two working on a song. When no one can do anything and practice gets canceled, it's kind of bummy. Everyone feels like shit. Everyone's like, damn, I feel demotivated, and So it's, I don't know. We tried to pretty much stay on top of it, and if we can't practice it, at least try to use that time to do something else productive and creative with that time, instead of just doing fuck else. And then when it comes to remembering the songs, I don't know. So I don't know. My brain is crazy, and I just remember everything. Like, I can pretty much remember everything, and it's not that hard. I don't know. So a band that pushes me creatively, I would say, would be Gorilla Mintz. Just because it's just something Josh and I have had for a really long time. And so Josh has known me for like years, when I was like 17. And at that time we both had our other bands, but then later on, like I think in like 22, we both broke up or left those bands, and we're like, all right, well, we're not doing anything. We met each other at a show, and we're like, hey, you want to jam? Yeah, fuck it, let's jam. So we started this band called Moth. And at the time, it was just like alternative rock, like Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Deftones, shit like that. And I mean, because that was the stuff that we liked, I mean, we were, I was 18, freshly out of high school. And then this guy, I mean, I don't even know how Josh was. He just moved back from California. And he was living with this dude at the time, and well, this guy was pretty good at guitar, but we're like, hey, play bass. Josh wanted to be more of a songwriter because he didn't really have that chance in his other band that he was in. So we both were like, hey, fuck it. I was playing drums in that band because I picked up drums in quarantine, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let me try actually taking drums a little more serious. So started playing with them. We would practice like every day, bro. Like I swear, I would get off of work like at 1:30, 2 o'clock, drive straight to his house, just practice until like 8. So from like 2 to 8, we just be bullshitting, practice, bullshit, and then practice again, bullshit, practice again, and then every day rinse and repeat for like a good year or two, or like a year, and then that dude left, and then this other guy joined the band, and then at that time, we're like, all right, well, let's use the name that we wanted to use originally, because Gorilla Mints, we were like, oh, let's call it Moth Gorilla Mints. But then that guy was like, nah, I don't like it. But the thing is, Gorilla Mints is because, so there's this dispo brand at the time called Cake, and Cakes had this strain called Gorilla Mints, and on the back it says for creativity, and we're like, damn, that's a fire-ass band name, low-key. And then Kobe was like, nah, that shit's stupid. And we're like, you're stupid. So we just kept it in the back. So after that, we're like, all right, fuck it, let's just use the name. I think it's cool. We like it. I like the vision. So we just ran with it. And I don't know, it's because Gorilla Mints just really, to me, it doesn't sound like anything that I've ever really heard. And I listen to a lot of shit. So it's like, oh, I like this. Like, I like how it's a mix of all the stuff that he likes. And then drumming-wise, it's like the shit that I like, you know? So I'll mix my influences, and then he mixes in his influences. We've been blessed to have really good bass players. Don't get me wrong, but it's just really hard to find sometimes really good bass players. So, right now we're jamming with Javi, and he's pretty good. I mean, he just needs to practice a little bit more with us, but he's got it. So, yeah, but I don't know. It's because something about that band, it just makes me feel something. Like, all these other bands I've started, it's like, yeah, we do it for fun, but like with that band, it's like something I really, really love. And I don't know, honestly, I don't know why the hell we don't push it more, because we got a shit ton of other stuff that we focus on. But I don't know, like that's the band I think we need to like really drive. But yeah, I think really that band is just something I really like. Cheat 2, it's a bunch of weird shit like Nintendo noises and like breakdowns and new metal parts and like anime Nokia core, fucking what is that one? Night core. There we go, like Hatsune Miku sounds and whatever. I don't know. Like it's kind of cool. I actually kind of fuck with that. I can't even lie, like, because I used to listen to that stuff in middle school. Like I listened to a bunch of weird shit. So I was like, oh, okay, this is like another band we can experiment. Like it's like Dance Gavin Dancy with like Omerta and other shit, because everyone's doing the same thing, and like so it might sound corny, but like. We want to make something that's a little bit different than like what everyone else is making. Like I love deathcore. I love death metal. I love hardcore. But a lot of it is just sometimes the same bullshit as like everything else. So I really like that I can push myself making something else because, again, I'm an artist. I'm a musician. I want to push myself in these different boundaries because like that's what I like. I like learning. I like gaining more knowledge and shit. So I like that. I like that I get more of a drive to do that. And same thing with all these other bands. Blushed really helps me with getting that like songwriting, verse, chorus, verse, all that sort of stuff down. And honestly, it just feels pretty good like to have bands and play with those guys too. So like one thing I see with like late 90s and like early 2000s guys, mean as shit. Like they had mean ass riffs. Like I don't know what it was. But like they were cooking back then. The same thing. Then it got to late 2000s, early 2010s. Same shit. I don't know what it was, but they were just cooking. Like some of them were just cooking. But I think what I saw back then was it's like, because I mean they still had influences from a lot of the thrash bands and still older like bands like 100 Demons per se or Terror at that time, or then you had Power Trip. Everyone was still doing like a lot of fast parts, but then like late 2010s everyone started switching like, all right, deathcore, same blast beats, stuff like that, the like like grind beats, like very fast punk beats. You're like, okay, everyone still wanted to do it fast, but then one thing I think I started seeing with the younger generation is that they really just like hearing breakdowns. Like, they just really like hearing breakdowns. And don't get me wrong, me too, because, like, for a really long time, like, with metal, or, like, just, like, heavy music in general, because, like, I like thrash. Like, I really loved it, and, like, I was really into death metal. That's the shit I started on. So, from, like, 14 to, like, now, I kind of see the, like, evolution of, like, oh, okay, you know, even with these, like, revival scenes, you kind of see, like, how everyone started forming everything into play, and then right now everyone's like on that whole post-hardcore emo revival where everyone's like on the same like and then like it starts like singing shit. So it's like, it's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, I think I love that shit because that's what I grew up on. Like, it just reminds me a lot of like Pierce the Veil and Asking Alexandria, which isn't bad, but it's like bands have already done that. But I can't really say anything about that because there's like a rule I really live by, or that I live a lot by, my bad. And it was said by Chris Novoselic from fucking Nirvana, and he said music is an art form that's meant to be reinvented. So nothing at the end of the day is fucking original, like, as well. Like with Van Gogh, when he painted, he was looking at other dudes that he was like, damn, that shit's cool, let me try painting that. And then he started getting his own style. And then that's kind of the same thing with everybody else. Even with one of our old bands, when we played in Albuquerque with Peeling Flesh, my homie Josh, he was talking to Hazy, the lead singer, and he was asking, he was like, dude, what do you do, like, to get all these crazy vocals? Like, what do you do to, like, sound like this? And basically he said, like, the same shit, the same rule that I said. Well, I really like listening to a lot of these guys, so I try to sound like them. But the thing is, you're not going to sound like them, because you're going to sound like yourself. So then from there, you kind of start figuring out your own style. You start figuring out your own way of writing. And basically, that's just how it is. Like, everyone goes from generations to generations to generations. Like I don't know who the hell inspired Van Halen, but fuck, he's crazy. But we know who inspired Dimebag, which is Van Halen. So that's why it's like, you know, it just keeps going down the wheel. You know, and that's even what's going around in the scene right now. Like, right now, you have a whole ass new scene of kids that I've never seen. No one's even seen before. You're like, oh shit, this is crazy. This is cool. Because, you know, the last time you saw it was when you were younger too, like a couple years ago. And it's like, dude, I sound old as fuck. Because it's like, I'm barely 22. And then I'm already sounding like an old man saying that it's like, yeah, there's like scenes going like this and like this. You're seeing people you've never seen before. Like, that's crazy. It's really crazy. But I think they just bring that same energy. Like, a lot of this music was meant for the youth. Like, that youthful energy, that youthful, like, drive of, like, oh, I can do this, I can conquer anyone. Like, you think you can't fucking die. Like, you think you're invincible at times. Like you're kind of thinking like how you were, like, at 16 or 15. You're just ignorant or arrogant as hell, naive, thinking that, you know, nothing can touch me. And really, it's like that same drive of just being like, all right, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing this shit. Oh, this sounds cool. But, like, the best way I can put it's like, I would hear a band and I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But I can do it better. I can do it faster. I can do it way smoother. I can do it insane. Like, I can make it look insane to, like, how you're playing it. And, yeah, that's basically what I live by. Vinny Sigma. I never wanted to fucking do music, which is really funny. So originally I wanted to go into the Marines, or I wanted to be like a paleontologist or marine biologist, some nerdy shit. So I was like, oh, okay. But then, you know, I picked up a guitar and I was like, or in music, and I was like, oh shit, well, I'm kind of okay. Then started getting better. I was like, oh, I'm kind of good at this. Let me see where this gets me. So started doing more. People saw. Okay, well, let me backtrack. So sophomore year of high school, I remember had like a pep rally, and they're like, if you perform or do like some sort of talent show, your class gets like an hour lunch. And the thing is, well, I'm a huge attention whore sometimes. So I used to do a lot of talent shows and shit like that. And there might be a video of me somewhere doing like a Michael Jackson song in like 4th grade of me dancing or something. But yeah, there's something like that somewhere. And then, so yeah, I just really liked performing. So I was like, all right, well, fuck it, I'll do this. So I was jumping around between either playing Honey Bucket by the Melvins, Tornado of Souls, and try to learn solo. I still can't get the solo. I can get the like beginning part, and after when it comes to the arpeggios, forget it. So then when it came to another song on guitar, I was like, fuck it, I'll do Raining Blood. So I performed Raining Blood and by Slayer in front of the whole class. I don't know how many people it was, but at the time, my homies were, I was like, yo, you guys should start a mosh pit. I'll tell you guys to come down. And I was like, calling them out when I was, gone on the mic. They didn't hear me. And then I was starting like a mosh pit on the bleachers. And I was like, so that shit was pretty fire. It was pretty cool. So that was a pretty cool memory. And then that video ended up getting on fucking FitFam. And, I was like, okay, cool. I had my little 15 seconds of fame. I was like, okay, fire, back to life. And then I started getting a bunch of DMs of like, yo, join our band. But I was like 15. So my mom, being, a Mexican protective woman, was like, hell no. Or her words, mi madre. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm not going to do anything. And then one day this guy hits me up and he's like, yo, let's perform and do this, or you should practice. I'm like, oh shit, that sounds kind of cool. I think you're my age. I tell my mom, yo, he's my age. And then, well, we got together, practiced, and he was like, yo, you're pretty good. And I jammed with this one guy, my homie Nick. Shout out Nick. And with this other guy at the time named Victor. It was really funny. It's like El Paso is really known to be connected in so many ways. Like it has like that, like there's like a string theory. So funny thing is Josh jammed with that drummer guy Vic. Vic, don't get me wrong, really fancy kid. He knew a bunch of fancy fills, but he could not keep time for shit. Good fill guy, but no time for shit. But besides that, he was also weird, so that's why I'm talking shit. I don't mean it like in a mean way, but it's because that guy was mean to us. He was rude, and I was like, you know what? Well, all right, pues chulo pues. So we were jamming, and then Angelo came into the play after Vic just like kicked us out of his fucking shed. And we're like, all right, whatever. So Angelo, shout out Angelo, he comes to jam with us. He was already in some other bands, another band called Fusebox, and another band called Silver Horse, and another band, like some slam band. So they already had their backgrounds, and they were like, all right, well, let's all jam. And then we started that band at the time. That band ended up getting a lot of traction on FitFam because we posted a video of like some Karen knocking down our camera, being all like this, being all loud during quarantine. So we got some attention from that on TikTok, and some attention on FitFam from that. So that's how we got it following. We would host like these little shows in the garage where people would come in, and some of them were pretty cool, some of them. And from there we just started playing more stuff out of town. We played, like, my first show I played at Rock House RP, and I was like, what, 15? Yeah, about to be 16. No, I was 16, about to be 17. And then this was like in 21 when they started lifting up all the like restrictions and shit. So we played, and then from there we got to just play more scene shows, and then that's where we found out I knew about Fat Camp and all those indie guys, and then that's where we met like Tony Jupiter, Cozy Ray. If they ask you, Cozy Ray is how Blushed got Blushed. Just saying, like, that's how they got to be on shows and got their little thing, so they can't say shit. So that's their lore. But yeah, we just started playing those indie shows, and we would just mix that. And then, how I was saying earlier, that indie scene was gross. Like, it was cool. Like, the music, some of it was kind of cool, but then, like, the people in it were just gross, fake, slimy as fuck, and it was just a lot of bullshit. Honestly, a lot of fake bullshit. Everybody was on this weird timing. It was just a bunch of fake shit, and I was tired of it. So I was like, fuck that. And then that's when I met Josh. And then with Josh, we started, we were like, all right, let's kind of, because a lot of the times we thought the scene was kind of like a little bit of a joke when it came to a lot of those things. Just because no one took it serious, No one takes it very serious, and it's kind of just a bunch of back and forth, little baby bullshit. And to us, we find it pretty annoying, so we're like, fuck it, let's just do our thing and keep going from there. So from us, we kind of just started doing our thing, and from that, people would come up to us. Oh my gosh, excuse me. People would come up to us, and then we would just, be cool with them, because, it's not hard to talk to people. It's not hard to be nice, So we were just like, okay, cool. And we just got knowing more people. Okay, we'll host more shows. Some people would hear about us and be like, hey, let's host a show. So then at that time, when Moth was still barely starting, I remember I started this other band, because at the time our homies from high school were like, I really want a heavy band. Like, I just really want to play these cool shows because, like, during quarantine, I used to watch a shit ton of those, like, Hate 5-6 videos of, like, you know, Jesus Peace, Gulch, and Tsunami, you know, all those bands. So I was like, oh, shit, that's fire. Yeah, I want to start a band like that, too. So, and the thing was really funny. I tried to get those guys to make riffs like Jesus Peace in my first band, but they didn't want to make that stuff. We sounded like Motley Crue and, like, Nirvana, and, yeah, it was really lame. Really fucking lame. But cool shows that we played. I played at the Whiskey A Go-Go because of that, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, I can't say too much. I mean, that band kind of just really put me in the scene as like I play music. Then Moth started being like, oh, you played in another band. Oh, he plays music. And then from there, when starting that other band that we had, AC-130, we started, I think, No Push Mosh texted us because we were just posting online because my homie at the time, Ruby, came here and he was from San Antonio. So and he was in a band called Scum. And the thing is, Scum played with like Sanity Slip in a basement at that time when Sanity Slip wasn't even shit then. So they were all talking about this, and of course people grown. Scum is still playing in San Antonio. You know, they're fire fucking band. I love Dom. I love Nate. I love Angel. Really fire dudes. And then Sanity Slip, I mean, of course their name is fucking known. You know, they're fucking fire. Like, I love them. So great band. But from there, Ruby was, introducing a different element to us. And then from that started getting some attention to us because we're doing a lot of more online presence. And at the time, people were, like, still online because, I don't know, our generation's just very on their phones. So we're like, all right, build this online presence. Okay, now we started working on the songs. All right, we had one song out. We played our first show in December with No Push Mosh. And we played in... this place called... Oh my god, what's the name of that damn venue? I forget. It was like some like party hall. But super sick. We played with Mexican Coke, they're canceled. Shock Treatment, I think they're canceled. And John Askis. Fire ass dude. CPU boot is awesome. But yeah. So that was a pretty fire show. And then more shows went on, and I remember I think I met Ricky because I would see him at some of the Rock House shows too, and he would always be in these overalls. And I was like, I've seen that guy before. So I went up to Ricky. I was like, yo, what's up? And then we started talking. He's like, I want to start a band, but like I can't find members. And he was like, I need a bassist. And I was like, well, I play bass if you want to play. You need a bassist. So yeah, that's how I joined Maldito. And from there, we started getting different guys. And then I met Max. And then from Ricky, I met all the Barbarian dudes and started meeting all the older guys in the scene. And then from these shows, from playing, I started meeting all the younger guys, like, Ever, Fish, Baya. And then, of course, from playing, we got to play with, like, Atrocious at the time. And so I met Ryan, Zach, all those dudes, because we had our other bands, too. So we got to meet a lot of guys, like, in our age group, too. So we just kind of met people from there. And then those people would be like, oh, shit. And other bands that I knew, or other people that I knew, we'd introduce to them. So it's kind of just a big, like, introducing everybody to everyone. So yeah, I mean, it's just pretty much been everybody. I can't really say like a certain person, but I mean, I gotta give it to Alex. Like, without him, I wouldn't have really given a shit about even like playing music, because just seeing how much he gave, like, his whole heart and soul into actually playing, I'm like, fuck, like, that shit's fire. So with him actually being like, oh, keep playing. Like, I remember talking to him, he was like, keep playing. I'm like, all right. So I'm gonna keep playing. And that's basically what I keep telling everybody else. Like, just keep playing. And yeah, I hope everyone else keeps on playing. Don't stop. So, I mean, I'll tie into it too, because, I'm even part of that whole younger generation too. But at the same time, I feel like it's every generation. So I can't really tie it with, say it's just us, So one thing I can say about even the younger generation before mine, like, not even the music scene, just in life in general, it's not even misconceptions. It's pretty much like, it's kind of truth with some of them, because a lot of the younger generation is very self-entitled. They feel like they have no purpose. They have no drive for anything. They are very naive, very arrogant, and selfish. And they just, it's like I said, they have no drive. Like, it's like they feel like they have no purpose either. So a lot of them, they're always like, oh, I'm depressed like this, I have this. Like, I'm not blaming on that or hashing on that because, I've struggled with my own things too. It's just, I'm not vocal. And the thing is, I like to, some people, will say, oh, you shouldn't be like that. But the thing is, everybody's different. With me, I personally am just like, all right, I'll talk about it maybe with someone close. But to me, it's like, I'd rather just hold it, maybe talk to someone, all right, have a better clarity on everything and be like, all right, keep going. Because to me, it's like I said earlier, same thing with discipline. It's all drive. Like, it's all here. It's really all here. Dude. And like I said, but I feel like that's also every other generation too. Because you have people that, even in the older generation, that are fucking losers, bro. Like, straight up losers. You'll see people that are like, it's crazy because, like, my daddy's older. So I see him at, 60, over 60. And I'm like, Dad, you're great. You live great. You got retirement. Life's good. Then you see some other 60-year-olds still working or old as fuck. They can't move. Like, they're already moving like they're 80. And it's like, hey, like, holy shit. So it's not just even us. It's like other people too. So you can't really say something about a certain generation either. But that's what I see even in, what I see from, like, sometimes, my brother and his friends or, other people that are younger too. But at the end of the day, it also ties back to, you kind of see who was raised right and who has a good head on their shoulders. Because even some people that don't go through some of the best things in life, they got really good hearts and they got really good heads on their shoulders. Some of the people that live, very lavish, sometimes very spoiled lives, pieces of shit. But again, it just depends on the person. It depends on who is, if they were raised by good people, and even if they're not, then, it's, you can tell who has a good, heart on them, a good soul. So, I can't really say too much. I mean, yeah, I know I'm right. But, I mean, who has got a good heart on them and then who doesn't, And then from there, you kind of just start being like, all right, because it's like I say like this, like, it kind of ties into relationships, which is a whole other thing, but you can't be looking at life with, like, rose-colored glasses, because then all the red flags start looking like the same damn color. So, he's got to be a little more open about things too, but, there's the younger generations got it. There's some guys that really know how to push themselves too, and some kids that are even pushing boundaries on, like, just life in general. So, it just really depends on who it is, Dude, I've seen so much crazy shit, like, dude. So I'll give you my top 3. So when I was in Nation 130, we played in Albuquerque. Holy shit. It wasn't the one with Peeling Flesh. It was before that. I think we played with Murder and Exist Infect and Cutthroat and Kill Eyes. But so I remember that show Murder Rate was running late. So we're like, damn. Well, and they started asking us, you guys want to, like, open, but you guys play for like 30 minutes or some shit? And we're like, yeah, it was fuck it. I mean, at the time we had I still had, like, all those different projects. So it was, we played all of them, our whole damn discography for AC. We played our deathcore project stuff, Place Above Creation. And then for the last song, we played this other band that I had with Josh called Dante's Inferno. We played that song. Dude, and it was really funny because for the last song for Dante's Inferno, it was probably one of the biggest pits too, because everyone was just fucking. So that shit was fire. So that was probably one of the coolest shows because also there was like 8 fights that night. And it was just our set. I think we were opening. So that shit was pretty cool. And my second one, shit. I don't know, it's because we just recently went on tour and with Blushed and Cheap. And when we played in Denver, dude, Colorado's got an awesome scene. Like a fire scene. Fire ass venue, D3. I know Colorado just played there. Really sick venue. I really love how Colorado really loves like Aztec culture and like Mayan culture, and they really like integrate that a lot in like their architecture and like their art. Like I think that's really sick. So I had a lot of fun there. Really nice people, dope scene, dope venue. Like, dude, I remember we're playing like the thing is with cheats, weird. So at first I thought I wasn't expecting people to fuck with it, bro. People are jumping up and down, they're stage diving, doing flips, bro. There was like kids jumping like and doing flips from the subs, and I'm like dude, it was fire. It was so cool to see. And then probably my third one, shit, dude, I played so many fire shows, bro. I don't even know. It's because probably that emo night ones. So taboo ass night, but I can't lie, it was pretty sick. Like, dude, it was fire because at that time, well, I mean, we didn't have music out. We were just known solely by name and solely by Instagram. And then the fact that over 1,200 kids were there at this fucking warehouse, like skating outside or inside the venue, you know, crowd surfing or, you know, doing whatever. It was insane, dude. Like, that whole view, like, it was just a wave of fucking people. Like, that shit was crazy. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was really fucking crazy. Ooh, last one. So then when Music Gallery reopened, that one was sick. Because I've seen some crazy shows at Music Gallery and been to a lot of crazy shows there and played some. But the one where we played, it was like the comeback of Music Gallery. So it was pretty sick just because it was so packed up the ass. Like, bro, from front to back, it was filled. And I remember some of the most, dude, it was super fire. Like, it was just so fire seeing the whole room explode, like, at these different moments. Like, fuck, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, it'll have its moments. Like, that's just how shit is. Like, you have your highs, you have your lows, but, you know, that's just how life is. But, yeah. I guess this kind of falls into, like, I was trying to put everything into, like, a 5 or 10 year plan. So, I guess for me right now, it's just, I hope in the next 5 years, well, in the next 5 years, not even I hope, in the next 5 years, I'm going to be playing festivals. Like, that's where I need to be. That's where it's going to be. So, I don't know. To me, it's you just got to keep telling yourself, like, it's going to happen. Like, it's going to happen. Like, I don't know. With me, like, words are energy. Words, like, whatever you put out there, it's like, it's going to come back to you. So, if you really live by and, like, really try thinking like that, then, you know, a lot of great things will happen. I really believe in manifestation, so I am just pushing what I can. Excuse me. I'm just pushing what I can. So, excuse me. But yeah, pretty much is that. Is just to be playing more bigger stuff, getting better tours, really just having more of that name out there and actually having more of like a serious status on there. Because I mean, you know, we have some stuff down, but you know, we're still here. And to me, it's like I would want to be on a different, like, I should be on a different level, you know, for life being life. Like, yeah, I'm going to school or going back to school, and just to do that and have something so I can, you know, be secure myself and also be secure for, like, you know, my people involved with my life, and also be secure enough where I can put money into my music without being, you know, scared of me. Like, holy shit, am I gonna be having enough to eat? Am I gonna have enough to put in for gas? And, like, don't get me wrong, sometimes, you know, living that broke life of just being a hungry musician or a hungry artist, being like, all right, it's gonna happen, like, some of those days are good, some of those days feel absolutely fucking miserable, but it's worth it. I think it's definitely worth it at the end, to, like, the points that we've gotten to. Right now, it's just, you know, there is a little bit of stalemates, because I think life is just life right now, where everyone's kind of just figuring out different things. Because, I mean, well, yeah, majority of us are all in our early 20s. Like, hell, I don't know majority of other 20-year-olds where they already have their shit together and know what the hell they want to do. Like, hell, you hear so many cases of other people being like, oh, I want to be a doctor, and then make it midway. They're like, fuck, I low-key want to work at McDonald's. They're like, what? So that's what I'm saying. Life can be life, but to me right now, it's just, I'm gonna just keep pushing myself. I'm gonna keep pushing the ones next to me that want to be pushed, and the other ones that don't really give a shit, well, you know, they can stay to the side. That's just really how it is. And to me, it's like, I'm kind of more done dealing with bullshit, and I kind of more on that boat of, all right, we need something serious. We need something that people are actually gonna take us serious for. Like, I want something that's not just some bullshit that's gonna make me be stuck here. Like, I need something that's gonna work. And, you know, sometimes it does take time, you know, to really cook on certain things, which, you know, I don't blame them. when it comes to, you can't rush perfection, but also you can't be perfect about everything too, because then it just kills a lot of what is it called? What's that word? I don't know, it kills your mood. Like, it kills, like, everything you liked about the song, because then you'll be like, oh, it needs this, it needs this, it needs this, and then you just start adding too much shit. And to me, it's like, I live by the rule of less is more. So, you don't need to add a bunch of crazy shit to make it sound cool. You can just add a lot of pretty simplistic, but pretty, like, driving, moving stuff to make a song sound pretty cool. Even when it comes to art or anything, So, my goal in life is just to inspire, drive, and really make that name of, like, we're gonna make a fucking band that's gonna be able to tour everywhere, and people are gonna be like, yo, this is fucking weird, but then other people are gonna be like, yo, this is fucking sick. Like, and at the end of the day, like, I'm not here to, please people. I mean, as an artist, you kind of have to, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not here to be like, oh, you should like this, like, I'm just doing this for myself. Like, if I like it, then I mean it's good. That's how I kind of think. Like, if I fuck with it, then I know people would fuck with it. But if other people don't like it, then it's not their cup of tea, or sometimes it just might be ass. But 9 times out of 10, I'm like, all right, if this is fire, I know people would probably fuck with this. So I don't know, I keep going. The thing I hope for the most is that people start thinking more. Like, they're not so quick and what is that word? Impulsive, like, on things like, actions, thinking, and a lot of shit. Like, I hope there's not as much drama. I really hope there's not as much. There's overall bullshit. I hope there's more people taking it actually serious when it comes to a lot of things. I really hope there's like a cleansing that just happens, that's just like, all right, where people just start thinking straight, and people start just, acting normal. And to me, I mean, I just hope more of, like, the younger generation starts making shit again, because, don't get me wrong, the older generation's cool, but then it's like, I don't know, there's a certain point where, like, all right, just like, all right, buddy, like, put the fries in the bag. But then there's other points where it's like, all right, well, you're actually kind of good, keep going, so I think you would know when to keep going or stop. But hey, I really just hope there's just more better shit coming in, because, like, we've had a lot of trends of, like, really awesome bands, and then, like, really caca ass doo-doo bands that would come in, and it's just like, damn. But I feel like that's everywhere, bro. Like, every scene, I think, has them, Some will be kids, and it's just like, you can't shit on them because, they're little kids, they're barely starting out, But then other times you'll see, like, dudes that are, like, 26, like, 32, and you'll be like, you'll be like, all right, buddy. But it's different, If you have more of a name and you're actually cool, then, keep fucking pushing it, But they know the difference. I guess to answer this question, despite a lot of bullshit that happens and everyone hears, life is a yin and yang, there's evil within the good and good within the evil and all that. But basically, I think there's just a lot of, like, right now we're in the time where a lot of now good new bands are coming out. So I really, really fuck with that, because now it's not like the same 4 fucking guys or playing the same damn shit. And I was just like, okay, well, I've heard this last week. Oh, do you have a new song? Oh, have you practiced? Oh, you probably think it's gonna sound cleaner than the last time. It's like, it sounds worse than the last time I saw you. And so it's, I don't know, it's pretty funny. Like, which guys are like, ugh. But then you see the other guys that come in, and you're just like, whoa, holy shit. Like, you see these kids, you're like, I've never seen you before. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, shout out Jordan. That boy rips. badass little drummer. And then same thing with that band, Ashen Hearts, like, and I drum band, Behead the Queen. There's this one band called Salvia and another shoegaze band called Espejo. Really dope shit. Really fire shit. So, honestly, keep the lookout for them. I mean, it's not like they're recording because, I mean, they're fucking 15. I don't think they have the money. Unless they get blessed, then, you know, I hope they do. I hope their parents give them like $1,000. They're like, yo, go record something. Because they got potential. And the thing is that, like, they're still young and they got a lot of time to really be, like, honing in that craft and really get, like, their shit down. So that's why I'm like, yeah, keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. When I see Jordan, I'm like, keep going. Keep fucking going. You know? And same thing with the other guys. You know, just keep fucking ripping. You know, more dudes need to start more bands. Good bands. They need to start more good bands and different bands. If you're going to start, like, a revival band, at least be like, everyone does this shit. Let me try making it sound like this. You know, don't be like every other guy. Be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna write a mosh part and then write a two-step part and then write into like another singing part, but then it's gonna go into a two-step mosh part. And like, you know, you can't. Like, it's like the same shit that guy did, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. I love stuff like that. You know, that's like I really like. That's why, you know, that's why I like hardcore, because hardcore takes a lot from like hip hop, because hip hop is pretty much the same shit. But it's like everyone kind of takes it and uses it their own different way, you know? So, I mean, but with these kids, like, they just, it's like, with them, they got, like, the energy and the drive. Like, you know when you see a band or hear a band, you feel it, and you're like, yeah, these guys are, like, they got it. Like, these guys have got something good going on. So, at that point, it's just up to them to actually do something good about it and stay, like, keep a good head on their shoulders and not be idiots. So, at that point, it's up to them, but... a lot of dope bands. A lot of dope new bands. Shout out them. If you want to get involved, just make a band. Just talk to people. Literally, I don't think it's that hard. Like, you just got to go to one show with your friend that you probably know that is like some little alternative guy at school. You're like, oh, you know, this guy seems kind of cool. Yo, what do you do? It's like, oh, I go to shows. You know, you should come with me. And they're like, oh, okay, fire. And then you get inspired because you're like, oh, shit. There's people who are actually, like, a scene, because, like, I don't know, when I started playing music, like, I was, like, 13, and I never thought there was a music scene here. Like, you know, I didn't think there was shit in El Paso. But then, as you grow older, you're kind of like, oh, that actually kind of is. So, over time, I was started, you know, discovering more, and I was like, oh, wow, there's, like, actually a scene. There's an indie scene. You know, there's a little alternative scene. Then you start finding, like, all these other different, you know, little niche scenes. But... one thing, it's kind of driving off the question, but one thing I really like is community and union. I really like mixed bills. So like when I was first starting out with my bands, I really like mixing in a lot of shit. So I think that's probably what made AC kind of cool at that time when I started, was that we were playing a lot with like different bands, not just like only solely hardcore death metal or whatever. So I thought that was really cool. Like, I really, because I mean, like with me, I like everything. So if you mix a lot of different everything, you don't know that this hip hop guy is going to end up fucking with shoegaze, or like this fucking metalhead's going to end up liking like Pink Panthers or some shit. And you're going to be like, oh, fuck. It's just introducing. It's a really good marketing strategy. But it's also really cool to see, because you get to see a bunch of different shit. It's not just the same shit all in one bill, because it's like, I don't know, like, sometimes being in these bands, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I gotta play, but then you play in these bills, and you're like, oh, it's just an all shoegaze bill. Oh, it's an all grind bill. It's an all hardcore bill. And then, you know, like, don't get me wrong, it's fire, but I don't know, I've been playing for so long that some of this shit's just kind of like, it's the same shit, you know? So I'm not saying I'm not easily impressed, but it's not like, there's nothing like I'll die for it, or I'm like, oh wait, until like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like some of these new kids, you're like, oh shit, like, oh fuck, you're like, damn, these guys kind of got it. So then that's when that comes. But yeah, I mean, also really just talk to people, because a lot of people, I get social anxiety and all that, but sometimes it really just takes talking to that one guy to be like, oh fuck, he can probably hook me on a show and just chill and be real. Don't be like don't lie about stuff. Be pretty much like straightforward when it comes to things, you know. Yeah, it's just pretty much keep that honesty and pretty much just treat others the way you would want to be treated, you know. And that will really take you far if you just be honest and pretty much just be yourself, you know. You don't try to impress people. Don't try to put a facade. Don't mask yourself to try to be something you're not, because that just that just kind of comes off as like try harder, you know. So with me, it's like I'd rather just be myself. I'd just keep doing you, because you know that's all you got, and that's cooler than trying to be like pretending you're like this mega tough guy, or you're like this little shy twinky dude, or being like, well, I'm so alternative and so quirky and giddy. Like, be yourself, you know. You're not gonna try hard. This shout out list is gonna be like that one Foghorn song where he's just literally shouting them out, all his homies, for like a good 3-4 minutes. So shout out my whole family. Shout out my mom, dad, my brother. Shout out my grandma. Without her, I would not be as artistic as I am. Shout out my mom's side of the family. They're smart as fuck. Shout out my dad's side of the family. They're creative as fuck. And shout out my cousin Adrian. He basically got me to be the person I am today. He's the reason I like basically everything. Shout out my cousin Andrew. Shout out shout out my dad again. Without him, like, I wouldn't have like achieved a lot of stuff. So he really drives me. So shout out him. Shout out all my friends. Shout out Josh. Shout out Ruby. Shout out Javi. Even though he may be the queen diva and a little sissy prissy little bitch sometimes, I still love you. But it's okay, because the one thing I really love about Javi is that he knows how to get shit done, and he definitely is a good leader, and he knows how to definitely move. So shout out Javi, I love you. Shout out Aiden Deed, my Bird and Ernie, my Gaby Waby. Shout out Andy Fandy. Shout out Laserbrain. Shout out Fader. Ava. Shout out Ava from Stilly. Shout out Mark, Angel. Shout out Dante. Shout out Everfish, Paya, Brina, Howard Point Booking, Glass and Grief Booking. Shout out Seduce and Destroy. They're pretty fire. Shout out Atrocious. Shout out my boy Ryan. Zach. Shout out Shout out all El Paso Hardcore. Shout out No Push Mosh. Amarit, Raul, Ricky, Hector, Raul, Tony, Max, Saberwolf. Shout out fucking Angel. Shout out David. Shout out Marco. Shout out Thomas. I feel like I'm missing more people. Shout out Vic. Shit, that's a lot of people. Who else to shout out? There's a lot more shout outs. Shout out more of my homies. Shout out all of them. They're super cool. Shout out my girlfriend, Beta. She really drives me a lot. Like, she really puts, like, not that she puts me in my place, but like, she really helps me be centered. So shout out Beta. I love you. Shout out. Who else to fucking shout out, bro? Dude, there's a shit ton of people I know. This. Nah, I still got hella more shout outs. Shout out New Mexico Hardcore. Shout out Kawe, Jay, Oren. I really am horrible with names. I feel bad, but shout out all of them. Shout out K-Bar, Luke, Lil Gabe. Shout out David, Third Division, 1v1 Booking. Shout out Carla. Shout out I Hate My Life. Shout out Stalefish. Shout out Odie. Shout out Idali. Shout out Arizona Hardcore. Shout out Heresy. Shout out California. Shout out Texas Hardcore. Shout out Katie Wynn Missing J. Shout out fucking Colorado Hardcore. Shout out Disastry. Shout out Patchwork from Houston. Shout out Flack from Colorado. They're fucking fire. Shout out Polish. Shout out music. Shout out life. Shout out love. Shout out no more hating. Shout out just positivity and shout out Blessimer.